Even though the future seems far away, it is actually beginning right now. 2. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. 3. The true measure of a man is how he treats someone who can do him absolutely no good. 4. Win as if you were used to it. Lose as if you enjoyed it for a change. 5. Good character is not formed in a week or a month. It is created little by little, day by day. 6. Just remember, once you're over the hill, you begin to pick up speed. 7. Cease to inquire what the future has in store, and take as a gift whatever the day brings forth. 8. The hardships that I encountered in the past will help me succeed in the future. 9. The unsuccessful person is burdened by learning and prefers to walk down familiar paths. 10. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. 11. You have to attach some sort of emotional reason to any big goal you're after, or you will give up. 12. The first step toward change is awareness. The second step is acceptance. 13. Seeds of faith are always within us. Sometimes it takes a crisis to nourish and encourage their growth. 14. The way you think, the way you behave, the way you eat can influence your life by 30 to 50 years. 15. When I was young, I observed that 9 out of every 10 things I did were failures. So, I did 10 times more work. 16. Don't spend your life accumulating material objects that will only turn to dust and ashes. 17. A reputation for 1,000 years may depend upon the conduct of a single moment. 18. 3 grand essentials to happiness in this life are something to do, something to love, and something to hope for. 19. Remember to look at your glass half full and not half empty. 20. Being aware of your fear is smart. Overcoming it is the mark of a successful person. 21. No matter how chaotic it is, wildflowers will still spring up in the middle of nowhere. 22. Man cannot discover new oceans unless he has the courage to lose sight of the shore. 23. When a friend is in trouble, don't annoy him by asking if there is anything you can do. 24. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. 25. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. 26. Over every mountain there is a path, although it may not be seen from the valley. 27. Think twice before you speak, because your words and influence will plant the seed of either success or failure in the mind of another. 28. If you are going through hell, keep going. 29. The top experts in the world are ardent students. The day you stop learning, you're definitely not an expert. 30. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. 31. Life is a series of waves to be embraced and overcome. 32. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. 33. A sure sign that things are going well is when no one can really remember whose idea was whose. 34. Behavior is the mirror in which everyone shows their image. 35. You don't have to be a genius or a visionary or even a college graduate to be successful. You just need a framework and a dream. 36. We are imprisoned in the realm of life like a sailor on his tiny boat on an infinite ocean. 37. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that, you'll do things differently. 38. Life is not a matter of holding good cards, but of playing a poor hand well. 39. It is the ability to take a joke, not make one. That proves you have a sense of humor. 40. Every animal leaves traces of what it was. Man alone leaves traces of what he created. 41. Neither the life of an individual nor the history of a society can be understood without understanding both. 42. The opposite for courage is not cowardice, it is conformity. Even a dead fish can go with the flow. 43. They may forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. 44. I think self-discipline is something. It's like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. 45. Gold medals are made out of sweat, blood and tears and effort in the gym every day. 46. The world is quite eager to give you a set of criteria if you let it. 47. The talent for being happy is appreciating and liking what you have, instead of what you don't have. 48. Hope is being able to see that there is light despite all of the darkness. 49. The purpose of learning is growth, and our minds, unlike our bodies, can continue growing as we continue to live. 50. Failure will never overtake me if my determination to succeed is strong enough. 51. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. 52. I would rather be a super meteor, every atom of me in magnificent glow, than a sleepy and permanent planet. 53. There is nothing noble in being superior to your fellow man. True nobility lies in being superior to your formal self. 54. You might not be able to control your circumstances, but you can control your response to your circumstances. 55. Effort only fully releases its reward after a person refuses to quit. 56. Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darknesses of other people. 57. A gentleman would be ashamed should his deeds not match his words. 58. The world is full of suffering, but it is also full of people overcoming it. 59. Perfection is achieved not when there is nothing more to add, but when there is nothing left to take away. 60. The weeds keep multiplying in our garden, which is our mind ruled by fear. Rip them out and call them by name. 61. All truths are easy to understand once they're discovered. The point is to discover them. 62. Refuse to be average. Let your heart soar. as high as it will. 63. It's better to hang out with people better than you. Pick out associates whose behavior is better than yours and you'll drift in that direction. 64. Choosing to be positive and having a grateful attitude is going to determine how you're going to live your life. 65. Vision is the art of seeing what is invisible to others. 66. Your assumptions are your windows on the world. Scrub them off every once in a while, or the light won't come in. 67. If you have nothing to hide, there is no reason not to be transparent. 68. A hero is an ordinary individual who finds the strength to persevere and endure in spite of overwhelming obstacles. 69. Knowledge has to be improved, challenged, and increased constantly, or it vanishes. 70. I firmly believe that unless one has tasted the bitter pill of failure, one cannot aspire enough for success. 71. If you enjoy the fragrance of a rose, you must accept the thorns which it bears. 72. One of the most beautiful qualities of true friendship is to understand and to be understood. 73. If I only had an hour to chop down a tree, I would spend the first 45 minutes sharpening my axe. 74. Pursue some path, however narrow and crooked, in which you can walk with love and reverence. 75. The path from dreams to success does exist. May you have the vision to find it, the courage to get onto it, and the perseverance to follow it. 76. Knowledge is that possession that no misfortune can destroy, no authority can revoke, and no enemy can control. 77. Millions saw the apple fall, but Newton was the one who asked why. 78. I have learned to seek my happiness by limiting my desires rather than in attempting to satisfy them. 79. The only proper way to eliminate bad habits is to replace them with good ones. 80. The creative process is not controlled by a switch you can simply turn on or off. It's with you all the time. 81. The person who can bring the spirit of laughter into a room is indeed blessed. 82. We must free ourselves of the hope that the sea will ever rest. We must learn to sail in high winds. 83. No matter what happens in life, be good to people. Being good to people is a wonderful legacy to leave behind. 84. True wealth is not of the pocket, but of the heart and of the mind. 85. The harder I train every day on the track and in the gym, the more trust I gain in myself. 86. In order for the light to shine so brightly, the darkness must be present. 87. It's not possible to experience constant euphoria, but if you're grateful, you can find happiness in everything. 88. Keep your face always toward the sunshine, and shadows will fall behind you. 89. Intellectual growth should commence at birth and cease only at death. 90. For all sad words of tongue and pen, the saddest are these. It might have been. 91. Man never made any material as resilient as the human spirit. 92. However impenetrable it seems, if you don't try it, then you can never do it. 93. The secret of genius is to carry the spirit of the child into old age, which means never losing your enthusiasm. 94. No matter how you feel, get up, dress up, show up, and never give up. 95. I can accept failure. Everyone fails at something, but I can't accept not trying. 96. It is time for parents to teach young people early on that in diversity there is beauty and there is strength. 97. Truth will rise above falsehood as oil above water. 98. Only if you have been in the deepest valley can you ever know how magnificent it is to be on the highest mountain. 99. Humor does not rescue us from unhappiness, but enables us to move back from it a little. 100. You can discover what your enemy fears most by observing the means he uses to frighten you. 101. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't do it. Love what you do until you don't love it anymore. Nothing's impossible. 102. A ship in port is safe, but that's not what ships are built for. 103. It is literally true that you can succeed best and quickest by helping others to succeed. 104. My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style. 105. The only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. 106. I prefer to be a good human being rather than a good character on screen. 107. Kind words not only lift our spirits in the moment they are given, but they can linger with us over the years. 108. Never look back unless you're planning to go that way. 109. Success isn't about the end result. It's about what you learn along the way. 110. Imagination will often carry us to worlds that never were, but without it we go nowhere. 111. The world and the universe are far more wonderful if there's not a puppet master. 112. Those who occupy their minds with small matters generally become incapable of greatness. 113. Growth is painful, change is painful, but nothing is as painful as staying stuck where you do not belong. 114. Focus on the journey, not the destination. Joy is found not in finishing an activity, but in doing it. 115. One can never consent to creep when one feels an impulse to soar. 116. Prejudices are the chains forged by ignorance to keep men apart. 117. Integrity is doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. 118. Real happiness is cheap enough, yet how dearly we pay for its counterfeit. 119. The difference between something good and something great is attention to detail. 120. Success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. 121. That some achieve great success is proof to all that others can achieve it as well. 122. Accept the challenges so that you can feel the exhilaration of victory. 123. A good listener is not only popular everywhere, but after a while, he knows something. 124. Notice that the stiffest tree is most easily cracked, while the bamboo or willow survives by bending with the wind. 125. Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. 126. We are drowning in information but starve for knowledge. 127. Being healthy is the crown that only the sick can see. A lot of times, we take it for granted. 128. The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. Skillful pilots gain their reputation from storms and tempests. 129. The educated differ from the uneducated as much as the living from the dead. 130. Diversity and inclusion, which are the real grounds for creativity, must remain at the center of what we do. 131. Harmony makes small things grow. Lack of it makes great things decay. 132. If something's important enough, you should try, even if the probable outcome is failure. 133. Enthusiasm in our daily work lightens effort and turns even labor into pleasant tasks. 134. Never say never because limits, like fears, are often just an illusion. 135. Far and away, the best prize that life offers is the chance to work hard at work worth doing. 136. A compromise is the art of dividing a cake in such a way that everyone believes he has the biggest piece. 137. What we have to do is to be forever curiously testing new opinions and courting new impressions. 138. The fragrance of flowers spreads only in the direction of the wind, but the goodness of a person spreads in all directions. 139. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. 140. Embrace your fear. Imagine what you're most afraid of. Touch it and hold it so that you rob it of its power. 141. Criticism, like rain, should be gentle enough to nourish a man's growth without destroying his roots. 142. Jump, and you will find out how to unfold your wings as you fall. 143. One of the most sincere forms of respect is actually listening to what another has to say. 144. Mistakes are always forgivable if one has the courage to admit them. 145. Follow your passion, be prepared to work hard and sacrifice, and, above all, don't let anyone limit your dreams. 146. Movement is a medicine for creating change in a person's physical, emotional, and mental states. 147. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. 148. Optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence. 149. The reading of all good books is like a conversation with the finest men of past centuries. 150. Success is not built on success. It's built on failure. It's built on frustration. Sometimes it's built on catastrophe. 151. The value of a man resides in what he gives and not in what he is capable of receiving. 152. Welcome those big, sticky, complicated problems. In them are your most powerful opportunities. 153. It is no use saying we are doing our best. You have got to succeed in doing what is necessary. 154. Most people have the will to win. Few have the will to prepare to win. 155. Some people dream of accomplishing great things. Others stay awake and make it happen. 156. Humility and knowledge in poor clothes excel pride and ignorance in costly attire. 157. As long as a word remains unspoken, you are its master. Once you utter it, you are its slave. 158. The apprenticeship of difficulty is one which the greatest of men have had to serve. 159. Be miserable, or motivate yourself. Whatever has to be done, it's always your choice. 160. Logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere. 161. As far as we can discern, the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light in the darkness of mere being. 162. You need to overcome the tug of people against you as you reach for high goals. 163. To become truly great, one has to stand with people, not above them. 164. I often obsess so much about things that I can't get done that I ruin other things. 165. Don't worry when you are not recognized, but strive to be worthy of recognition. 166. To be truly engaged at work, your brain needs periodic breaks to gain fresh perspective and energy. 167. Whoever does not regard what he has as most ample wealth is unhappy, though he be master of the world. 168. Patience is not simply the ability to wait. It's how we behave while we're waiting. 169. Without knowledge, action is useless, and knowledge without action is futile. 170. Courage is doing what you're afraid to do. There can be no courage unless you're scared. 171. Our prime purpose in this life is to help others, and if you can't help them, at least don't hurt them. 172. The soul is placed in the body like a rough diamond and must be polished, or the luster of it will never appear. 173. Solitude is painful when one is young, but delightful when one is more mature. 174. Those who make the worst use of their time are the first to complain of its shortness. 175. Continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking our potential. 176. The world continues to offer glittering prizes to those who have stout hearts and sharp swords. 177. To one who has faith, no explanation is necessary. To one without faith, no explanation is possible. 178. A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. 179. Only I can change my life. No one can do it for me. 180. Life is a series of collisions with the future. It is not the sum of what we have been, but what we yearn to be. 181. Worry does not empty tomorrow of its sorrow. It empties today of its strength. 182. Life comes with many challenges. The ones that should not scare us are the ones we can take on and take control of. 183. The need for connection and community is primal, as fundamental as the need for air, water, and food. 184. He who is not a good servant will not be a good master. 185. Those who do not remember the past are condemned to repeat it. 186. Everyone has limits. You just have to learn what your own limits are and deal with them accordingly. 187. No one is dumb who is curious. The people who don't ask questions remain clueless throughout their lives. 188. Knowledge without justice ought to be called cunning rather than wisdom. 189. It is from books that wise people derive consolation in the troubles of life. 190. Man is the only creature that consumes without producing. 191. What we can control is our performance and our execution, and that's what we're going to focus on. 192. Making progress on long-standing challenges requires a different lens and a new approach. 193. When you catch a glimpse of your potential, that's when passion is born. 194. It isn't the mountains ahead to climb that wear you out. It's the pebble in your shoe. 195. There is no problem that is not improved by effort, and no effort that is too paltry to be worth undertaking. 196. I think all my life story is condensed in my face. It is neither innocent nor coy. It speaks volumes. 197. Frustration is fuel that can lead to the development of an innovative and useful idea. 198. Since the day of my birth, my death began its walk. It is walking toward me without hurrying. 199. You can do everything. You can try to stop bad things from happening to you, but eventually things will happen. So the best prevention is a positive attitude. 200. You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face.